What's up, guys? Average Kiwi Guy here. How y'all doing? So obviously BlizzCon's going on at the moment, and probably the biggest news coming out of there is that WoW is getting a new expansion next year, which is impressive. Like, Legion's really just kind of finished up, and we're already getting into a new one, so that's cool. That's cool. I dig that. I'm like, just to clarify, like, where I sit with WoW. I'm pretty new to WoW. I really just came in just before Legion hit. So I'm not like one of these 10-year vets that knows everything. I'm more just an interested party, a little bit of a WoW noob, just, getting his, seeing what's going on, seeing what's everything, kind of getting, my own take on what's coming out for this new expansion. We've checked out the cinematic. Fantastic. Blizzard does it again, the masters of cinematics. But it's going to be interesting to see what this expansion actually has in it and what's going to be different from the Legion and what they're adding. So I'm eager to see this sort of features overview, and then we'll get into the nitty gritty part of what this expansion is going to be. So let's check it out, shall we? 3, 2, 1, go.
My father once told me that peace was like a dream. Beautiful, ephemeral, unattainable. I didn't listen. No one listened.
Jaina, why are you so pissed?
Our suffering stirred the embers of resentment, just waiting for a single spark to set the whole world aflame.
Another group of islands appears. New continent called Tiras. Tiras, I should say. Is that pirates? Oh.
As the Alliance returns to Forgotten Kingdoms, the Horde seeks the might
Another
of
bear
an
of
ancient empire.
Trolls! Zandala. Dinosaurs? Snake temples? Snake people? Oh, god stuff? So level 20 new cap, okay. Dungeons and raids. Definitely pirate thing. Digging that. Ponder Uncharted Islands. Dominate war fronts.
We cannot dream any longer. The time has come to
Allied
call on
races?
allies willing to join the
Oh,
fight, to rally
different
beneath
appearances.
the banners of a world at war.
Okay. So obviously, definitely going back to the, where, WoW sort of came from, this, the Alliance and the Horde fighting each other. Because really, the Legion, they went away from that. Everyone sort of came together to fight the Legion because, the world's going to end, so we kind of have to stop this. We have to stop Sargeras. So, they kind of went away from that. And Jaina straight up disappears for the entire expansion. Right from the start. Like, if you play Alliance, she gets real pissy and just walks out. Just leaves. She portals out, she's done. And, of course, everyone has all these ideas of what she, what she is. Jaina the Dreadlord, all this stuff. But hopefully this expansion will explain, like, where she's been, what she's doing, that she's real pissed off still and all that. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see. So really showing off sort of these two new areas, these two new continents. I think they said it was 6 zones spanning 2 continents. So that's interesting. That's cool. And I think you get your own faction zones. So you level up in your faction zones. So you won't see a Horde player. So if you're Alliance like me, you won't see a Horde player until you get to, like, 120, and then I'd say there'll be a place where you go, where the 120s will go. And that's where, everyone's fighting in the end and stuff like that. That'll be like maybe the last zone or something. So that's interesting. I think that's pretty cool. Alliance goes to Keltaras, the home of the Proudmoors. Most notably Catherine Proudmoore, Jaina's mom. Okay, cool. So we get into, like, some Jaina stuff, which is kind of what we want. Like, kind of explain, like, what's going on with Jaina right here. Like, is she really a Dreadlord? Is she not? Stuff like that. So I think this will finally settle, like, what Jaina was up to and what Jaina's been doing and stuff like that, and why she's so pissed off all the time. So here the Alliance players will involve themselves in squabblings of various great houses in each ruler's zone and help settle their disputes in order to win the allegiances in the coming war. Okay. That kind of reminds me of, like, Old Republic with Alderaan, where you go there and you gotta, like, help the houses out and stuff. I don't know. That sounds okay. Hopefully it's interesting stuff. Terragard Sound. I'm sorry if I say these wrong. I'm really bad with names. Is the main hub. So that's where, kind of the main place you'll end up walking into. Populated by hearty monster hunters and vicious pirates. Okay. Interesting. Drustavar is a forested mountain region battling terrible curse that consumes citizens. Sounds cool. And Tirga, north of Tirga is the Stormsong Valley, a lush green land ruled by House Stormsong and the group of sea pirates who build boats for the Kulturan Navy. That's cool. That's cool. I like how it's, like, on the high seas, and it's a bit of a pirate expansion, this one. So that's cool. I dig that. Then the Hordes get Zandalar, home of the ancient troll empire. So for all those who love trolls, the trolls and stuff, you finally get a bit of basically a troll expansion here, which is cool. Zuldazar is the capital city and the only secure region on the continent. So that's cool. The blood trolls are after you. Good luck, Horde. Nazmir is a infested swampland. Enlisting the aid of Lola, gods whom the trolls worship, who will defeat. Nazmir is a festering swampland to the north, home of savage blood trolls, who players will defeat by enlisting the aid of Loa, gods from whom trolls worship. So you get to help gods on the Horde side? Damn. And then you get sweeping deserts ravaged by legions sent by old gods. We gotta help pompous freaking humans in the Alliance side, but Horde gets to help troll gods and beat old god legions and stuff. Man. And then you befriend a race of cute fox people. Horde, man, you got the good side on this. You got the good side on this expansion. That looks awesome. With Legion character arcs like Illidan Redemption becoming a center pillar of the main story, Battle Azeroth will expand on a big way on focusing on key characters from Warcraft lore. Players will see the next chapters in the stories where our heroes like Anduin, Sylvanas, Jaina, Thrall, and everyone's favorite Vol'jin. He's back to life? Or is this like gonna be a ghost Vol'jin? Vol'jin died though. I'm certain of it. I saw the Horde side of the opening, battle for Legion. Vol'jin died, right? That's interesting. It's a little spoilery too if they're bringing Vol'jin back. Okay, cool. Allied races. So, Battle of Azeroth introduced some new races to play as well. They're actually variations of already playable races. Oh, okay. Oh, so like all the cool looking, say you're like a Night Elf or a Blood Elf or whatever, and you see like the Nightborn and like the Void Elves and stuff like that, like they look really cool, but you're just normal elf person. Like, I want to be that, but why can't I be that sort of thing? Now you can be that. So, like, Blood Elves, I'm guessing you can be Nightborn, because it's like the Horde side. Tauren can be High Mountain Tauren, and Trolls can be Zandalari Trolls. The Alliance, I guess Night Elves can be Void Elves. Cool. I wonder how that affects, like, because I play Demon Hunter. I know. Don't. I like the way, I just like the movement and stuff for Demon Hunters, and the fact that the Illidan and stuff, that's cool. But I wonder how that affects. Like, do you become like a Void Elf Demon Hunter? I don't know. Lightforged Draenei, cool, and Dark Iron Dwarves, cool. So all those ones that you wish you could be, now you can be them. And by the looks of it, there will be 6 allied races at launch with more added later. So they're going to add more as you go along. Cool. I dig that. You'll be able to pay to change your race to one of these once they're unlocked. And you can also pay to boost their levels so you don't have to start over from scratch with a new character. Those who do, however, will unlock a special set of heritage armor at level 110, tailored to each race's aesthetic. So wait, like, now this will only be, so when you create a new character, you can only be those. You can't turn your, other than pay to have your race changed, you won't be able to do that. Like, you won't, like, I can't turn my Night Elf Demon Hunter into a Void Elf Demon Hunter without paying. Oh, that's a little lame. I thought, like, you're going to follow this arc that would eventually make you into that. Like, you follow this faction and the faction will eventually turn you into one of them. Oh, so it's just going to add up, like, open up more character things that when you make your new characters. That's a little disappointing. I was hoping for, like, that you could eventually you know, become them. Like, it would change your character over time or something. I don't know. You get heritage armor, so people will be all after that, I guess, for all the ones that love collecting everything. The High Mountain stuff looks cool. Heart of Azeroth. One of the most contentious features in Legion was artifact weapons, with players leveled up and customized. With Battle of Azeroth, artifact weapons are being retired and replaced with a new system focused on necklace called Heart of Azeroth. They're getting rid of artifact weapons already? It's been one expansion, and they're getting rid of them. Okay. It's a little disappointing. I like the artifact weapons. I thought they were kind of cool how, you know, you had, you know, these powerful weapons with, like, lore behind them and everything. Like, it was very cool. But then again, like, everyone had them. But you never felt like, you know, you were like, you know, because you had the appearances and stuff, and the hidden appearance, that fucking Xylem quest to get the flaming, like, for me with the Demon Hunter, the flaming glaives and stuff, that Xylem quest was just, ugh. But it was, you know, it was still cool to do those things to get those appearances. So I never felt like I had the same thing as everyone else. But it's crazy they're going to get rid of that straight away. World Soul of Azeroth is dying and the essence is bleeding to the surface. A new resource called Azerite feeds your medallion and lets you unlock latent properties hidden within the armor you'll be finding on the high seas. The more powerful your amulet, the more powerful bonuses you can unlock in your armor. Ah. So, essentially, it's going to do what the artifact weapons was doing anyway, but for everything. Everything's going to have those, like, traits that you can pick and, like, they'll go into. And the more powerful, the more Azerite you have for your Heart of the Azeroth necklace thing. I wonder if that's going to take up the necklace slot. That's going to be interesting. But the more you have of that, the more powerful the armor will be. Okay. Okay. I mean, I kind of missed the artifact weapon thing. I think that was kind of cool, but I mean, I guess now everyone can have like their own weapons. They can have their own stuff. But of course, everyone's gonna find the best armor, the best weapons, the best everything, to have that. Equipment you find from more challenging content will also have more powerful abilities. Of course, equipment power is also related, so you won't have randomized abilities and need to farm gear to hoping to get the right set to be choosing from. So that way, you're not going to have, this shoulder pads of Raggaroth, with this set of abilities, and this shoulder pads of Raggaroth with this other set of abilities. They're all going to be the same, apparently, or something like that. So, okay. I mean, I guess this is just they're expanding on the artifact weapons. And they're probably thinking, well, we've pushed the artifact weapons system as far as it can go. So now we kind of have to let them, we can't create new weapons. We've already given them these, like, you've already given the Doomhammer away to all the shamans. We've already given we've already given, Frostmourne to all the Death Knights and stuff like that. So we can't do any more. All right. I mean, I can understand that. And it'll be interesting to see how it all plays out, like with the the gear that you're getting and stuff like that. And that means, like, I wonder if that's like with just every piece of armor that you get, you'll have this. I just hope you don't have to collect, 20 billion Azerite to get this one trait. That was kind of the ridiculous part with the artifact weapons in the end, was that you were getting to such ridiculous numbers to get the next trait in this one circle thing that you put in like 15 times to fully unlock your damn thing. It was getting a bit ridiculous, so I don't know. I can understand why they might be moving away. Island expeditions. One of the coolest features coming in Battle of Azeroth is the island expeditions, where players set out in groups of 3 to explore uncharted isles and race against the enemy faction to secure resources. This is a hybrid player versus environment mode, where you choose to fight enemy players or highly dynamic enemy AI that strategizes on its own to thwart your plans. It's going to be one of the most, if not most variable, dynamic, replayable experiences we've ever offered in World of Warcraft. Okay. So it's like you go onto this island, like we saw them all running down the ships here. So you go off with, groups of 3. And I'm guessing you got Alliance on one side, Horde on the other. And you gotta either fight each other to get the resources on this island, or you fight the AI and then fight them? Or get the AI to fight them? I don't know. The theme is in each encounter will change dramatically between playthroughs. Okay, so it's randomly generated. Okay, I get that. It's kind of like the portal thing on Argus, where you would go in and the portal thing would change every so often. And it'd be like this one or this one or this one. So it'd be interesting to see how random it is. Like, do you start seeing repeats very quickly? So yeah. And there's some new type of AI that they've created, more advanced. They figure out, they retreat and stuff. Okay, I have to see it in action. I have to see this, island expeditions thing actually happen. I feel like they're pushing PvP. They're pushing PvP in this. Like, they're really pushing this conflict between the two quite a lot. So we'll see. We'll see about this. Warfronts. The other major activity coming to Azeroth is massive 20-player cooperative battles that directly inspired by Warcraft 3. I never played Warcraft 3, so I can't talk to this, as someone who's played that. So it definitely had that, like, similar to StarCraft and all that, where you build the bases up and you got the you choose how you spend the resources and stuff. I'm guessing that's what they're meaning, because I know that a lot of those Warcraft games had that same principle. So, okay, interesting. I wonder how that they're gonna play that out. Whether it will be from that view of like StarCraft, Warcraft like things, I don't know. That'll be interesting. 20 players will gather resources for themselves and put them towards buildings they want to prioritize, but obviously communication is key. So this is definitely something that's based, going towards guilds. Like, they want guilds to do this, or like, large groups, because that's the only way you're going to get large groups right, is if, guilds do this together. Getting 20 people together and doing this is like getting people together for a raid. So, yeah, I don't think it's going to be, yeah, I don't think I'd be doing this solo. This sounds very, very awful for a solo person, trying to get everyone organized to, put things on the right things and stuff like that. Once the buildings are in place, you can begin recruiting your army and sending them to the front line. This happens automatically, so it sounds more like a MOBA with lanes or creatures attacking automatically with players swinging the tide of combat. Okay, so there's going to be lanes. You go and help the minions. This is definitely like MOBA, that sort of MOBA or even, StarCraft-like, thing. It's interesting. It's interesting. It's not a PvP mode, so you're only battling AI armies. Okay. Interesting. Don't know if I'd play it, but interesting. New social features. They're putting voice chat in. Okay, about time. It should have happened expansions ago. Once they started to get that technology, they should have done it. I mean, they just put it into BattleNet, I don't know if it was this year. So, yeah. And then WoW communities. So, which are similar to guilds, but you can belong to multiple communities and still be in your regular guild. Okay, so like you just, like, oh, I'm interested in this. And you're, that's a community, so you're part of that. Guess it's how you meet people with similar, interests to you. Okay. Okay. I thought that's what guilds were for, but okay. So it's just something over the top of guilds. And then dungeons. You get 4 at the start, and then when you hit 120, you get 10. And Mythic Plus is back, which is good. Mythic Plus is fantastic. It made repeating dungeons far more interesting than, having, just going back and forth on them, or just only being able to do raids or something like that. So Mythic Plus is really, really good. I think that's fantastic. Ulder Halls of Control will be the first raid coming to Battle Azeroth. It's Titan quarantine facility where mad scientists tried to study ancient beings before it unsurprisingly all went wrong. The facility is now corrupted by the old gods, and players will need to locate sources of the corruption and cleanse it once and for all. As players have predicted, Queen Azara will be the final boss in the second raid of this expansion. Interesting. So you'll finally get to take on actually Queen Azara, which is cool. Like that, it's been a long time coming. Long time coming. And then they're getting rid of PvP servers. Straight up, they're getting rid of PvP servers. You'll opt in to PvP, like worldwide PvP. I personally don't like PvP in MMORPGs. I just feel it's very clunky. I just don't like it personally. So if you're keen on, like, I don't play on a PvP server, so it doesn't matter to me in any way. If I have to, I'll just opt out of it all the time. It's just me personally. But for those of you who love it, I guess now everyone's in on the same thing. There's no PvE, PvP server. I don't know about that yet. So, we'll have to see. We'll have to see on that one. Brawls, Battlegrounds, all coming back. And one major feature announced at BlizzCon is also arriving here. The expansion is level scaling for all of Azeroth and old expansions. Okay, so they're going to do the scaling for every, like they did in Legion, they're going to have it for everywhere. Oh, I quite like going back to the old zones and wrecking house and just one-shotting everything. I don't mind that. I think it's good ways to get freaking transmogs and stuff. That's a bit disappointing, but okay, that's cool. So 2018. I mean, there's a lot of good stuff there. There's a lot of different stuff. I mean, they're trying. This is what they always do, right? They always have like one or two things that they're gonna do brand new, and they're gonna give it a go. And they're gonna, they may have tinkered with it with other expansions, but this is the big haul that they're gonna do here. And definitely like their big thing this time is this whole Warfronts thing. These different modes, I think. Not the actual, questing, and they're not the actual dungeons and raids and stuff like that. It's other things that you can do. While you're doing this stuff, or once you the in-game stuff. So these island expeditions, which I'd have to see them actually playing it to understand what it actually is going to be like. I think it's just like, for me, this is just extra stuff that if you want to, you can do. That's what I always felt like what PvP was, like battlegrounds and stuff like that. It was just other things that you could do if you wanted to, other than dungeons and raiding and stuff like that. Because that's what I always like doing. I like doing dungeons. I like doing raids. So it never bothered me that there was other stuff to do. And obviously when new content came out, you do the new content. That I was quite happy with that. The only thing that I can see that's really different for normal playing, like just normal questing and stuff like that, is the Heart of Azeroth, this Azerite armor stuff, where the more and more powerful this Heart of Azeroth becomes, the more powerful the armor that you get, that you find becomes. So they get these new traits and stuff. For me, this is just like, they didn't want to make artifact armor, so they're gonna do artifact everything, but not call it artifact. Just, you can have any old armor that you find running around, and it will have these rings that have all these things on it. Okay. I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see. It's gonna be interesting to see like how that comes together. This this Heart of Azeroth stuff. As long as it doesn't get to the point with artifact power where you're getting like 20 billion artifact power together to try and upgrade your stuff. Like, we'll see. I need to see on that. I was doubtful on artifact weapons when I first saw it. I was like, man, I like finding my own weapons, and I like finding new stuff in dungeons and stuff. I don't want to lose that. But when I played it, it was actually really good. So, now we are finding new weapons, and we are finding new stuff. It's just, we'll be getting new abilities on top of it. So, we'll see. We'll see on that. But yeah, I mean, 2018, it's coming. It's coming real soon. Like, it's not too far away. Like, I'd say this would be, normal release dates for them, which is like July, August, sort of area. Like, they normally like to do it around that time. I think Legion was before PAX West. Yeah. It was before PAX West, when Legion launched. So, because I remember, because I actually went to PAX West that year. So, yeah. It's definitely... I mean, I hope that they continue off this, the great run that they had with Legion. Legion was fantastic. It really was. And a lot of people said best expansion they've had in a long time. A lot of people's favorite is Wrath of the Lich King. So, for them to, say that Legion was one of the best, the best they've had in a while, is good. Is really good. I think they got back on track with what they wanted to do. And then they stopped trying silly little things like garrisons and stuff. And they took the best parts out of Warlords and Pandaria and stuff, and they made Legion. Now they got to continue that on. How does going away from the Burning Legion and Sargeras to a point, I'm guessing, and all that, how does going away from them affect how the story goes and how this expansion will go? Because will it go back to more towards like what you know, Warlords was like, or what Pandaria was like? So yeah, that's going to be interesting to see. That'll be interesting to see. But I mean, I'm psyched. I'm keen. I want to play. I mean, I'm psyched. I'm keen. I'm always keen to, you know, get back into different MMOs when, you know, expansion stuff come out. So I mean, I'll see, you know, once they start putting out pre-patch, you know, expansion stuff, we'll get back into that and we'll see what they come out with. Hopefully they release some stuff, more like stuff on the, these new modes, these new little, events that you can do and stuff. But yeah, I think it's going to be fun. And hopefully the expansion will live up to Legion and continue on, WoW's good, stretch here. Yeah. Alright guys, that's it for us. Thank you very much for watching. I'll catch you next time. Peace. Bye.